Have you ever noticed that the things people spend their whole lives chasing are often the very things that leave them feeling empty once they finally catch them? Perhaps the greatest losses in life are not the things we fail to gain, but the moments we unknowingly trade away. This is the story of a man who spent years trying to fill every room in his house, until one empty chair taught him what wealth truly means. Every morning before sunrise, Harin unlocked the wooden doors of his small furniture workshop. The smell of fresh cedar drifted into the narrow village street. His hands were known throughout the region. People said no one shaped wood with more patience. A chair made by Harin lasted long enough for grandchildren to inherit it. His wife Mira often brought him warm tea before the first customer arrived. Their daughter Leela liked sitting on unfinished stools while pretending to run her own little shop. Life was not luxurious, but laughter visited the house every evening. After dinner, they sat beneath an old neem tree. Sometimes they talked, sometimes they simply watched the wind move through its leaves. Neither seemed to mind the silence. Years passed gently. Then, one autumn afternoon, a wealthy merchant stopped outside the workshop. He examined every table, every cabinet, every chair. "You could sell these in the city for 5 times this price," the merchant said. Harin smiled politely. "The village has always been enough." The merchant laughed. Enough is a word people use before they discover more. Those words stayed with him long after the merchant disappeared. That night, while everyone slept, Harin remained awake. What if he truly had been thinking too small? What if he could give Mira a larger home? A better future for Leela? What if staying satisfied was only another way of staying afraid? The next month he accepted his first large order from the city. Then another, then another. The workshop grew louder. Workers arrived. New tools filled every corner. The old quiet mornings disappeared beneath the sound of constant work. Money came faster than ever before. So did opportunities. Soon, people traveled from distant towns just to place orders. His name spread farther than he had imagined. At first, everything seemed better. His daughter received books she had only admired before. Mira bought medicine for neighbors without worrying about the cost. Harin believed the merchant had been right. Perhaps happiness could grow alongside success. But success has a strange appetite. It rarely asks for everything at once. It simply asks for one more hour, then another, then another. The evening conversations beneath the neem tree became shorter. Sometimes they disappeared altogether. "I'll join you tomorrow," Harin would say while studying another list of orders. Tomorrow became next week. Next week became another season. Leela stopped bringing drawings into the workshop because her father was always speaking with customers. Mira still carried tea every morning. Sometimes it grew cold before he noticed. One evening, Leela stood beside him, holding a tiny wooden bird she had carved herself. "I made it like yours," she whispered. Without looking up, he smiled. "It's beautiful." She waited, just for a moment, then quietly placed it on a shelf and walked away. He never realized she had hoped he would ask her to sit beside him. Winter arrived. The merchant returned. This time he admired the busy workshop. "You've done well," he said, "but why stop now?" "I've already achieved more than I imagined," Harin replied. The merchant leaned closer. "There is always another mountain." That sentence became another seed. Months became years. The workshop became the largest in the district. Workers managed workers. Orders arrived faster than they could complete them. Harin now owned everything he once dreamed about. A larger home, better clothes, more land. Yet something felt strangely quieter than before. One afternoon he returned home early for the first time in months. The house was spotless, beautiful, comfortable, but unusually silent. Leela's room stood empty. She had moved to another town to become a teacher. There had been conversations, plans, dreams. He realized he had been present for almost none of them. Mira was sitting beneath the old neem tree. She smiled when she saw him. "I thought you had forgotten where this tree was." He laughed softly, then noticed something. 3 chairs stood beneath the branches. 2 were occupied. 1 remained empty. "Why keep that old chair?" he asked. "It belonged to Leela," Mira answered. "I like to imagine she's only running late." Neither spoke for several minutes. The evening breeze sounded exactly as it had years before. Nothing around the tree had changed, only the people beneath it. The next morning, Harin entered his workshop before everyone else. He walked slowly through rows of polished tables, perfect cabinets, beautiful chairs. Each carried his signature. Each represented another day he had traded. He found the tiny wooden bird Leela had carved years earlier. Dust covered one wing. He brushed it clean with trembling fingers. That afternoon, he called his workers together. From now on, the workshop will close before sunset. Large orders would wait. Some customers complained, some left. Income became smaller. Peace quietly returned. The first evening he closed early. He carried 2 cups of tea outside. Mira looked surprised. "Who made yours?" she asked with a smile. "I finally had the time." Weeks later, Leela visited. She noticed the workshop doors were already closed. "I thought something had happened." "It did," Harin replied. "I remembered why I first built them." They spent the evening beneath the neem tree. They laughed about forgotten stories. Leela showed him new carvings made by her students. This time he examined every detail, not because the birds were perfect, because the hands that made them mattered. Years later, people still admired Harin's furniture, but those who knew him best spoke of something else. They remembered that every evening, just before sunset, a craftsman closed his workshop no matter how many customers waited. Some believed it was poor business. Others thought it was old age. Only Harin understood. Wood can become another chair tomorrow. A conversation cannot become another evening. Some empty chairs stay empty long after we finally have time to sit beside them. Most of us believe we are working for the people we love. Sometimes, we become too busy to actually be with them. Success is important. It gives comfort. It creates security. But it should never replace your presence. Children remember attention more than gifts. Parents remember visits more than money. Friends remember conversations more than promises. A few extra hours at work can earn more income. A few extra minutes with someone you love can become a memory that lasts forever. Look around your own life. Who has been waiting for your time? Who keeps saying, "Whenever you're free"? Perhaps they are not asking for much, only for you. Balance does not mean giving up your dreams. It means refusing to lose yourself while chasing them. Build your career, grow your business, work hard, but leave enough daylight for the people who make all of it meaningful. One day, your house may be full, your bank account may be full, your calendar may be full. Make sure your heart is not empty. The greatest wealth is having someone who is still happy to see you when you come home.